What's for dinner?
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another exciting episode of Chef Z Cooks, where today we are making the tastiest and crispiest yuca fries. Now, if you are a regular here on my channel, then you already know I absolutely love yuca. As a matter of fact, I like it more than plátano. Yep, you heard that right here. Now, making yuca fries is actually really easy. It's actually so easy. You're gonna wanna make it time and time again. Now, before you guys ask, because I know it's going to be a popular question, yes, you definitely need to use some fresh yuca in order to make the best yuca fries. But don't worry, because I'm gonna go through in great detail on how to actually peel it, boil it, and make it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Making yuca fries is insanely easy. All you need is some fresh yuca, water, salt, and oil, and you're in business. Now, first things first, we do have to peel our yuca, and I totally understand if this can intimidate you, but it's honestly not that hard. All you need is a few simple tricks, like a big ol' knife. You're gonna start off by cutting those ends, then you're gonna take a smaller knife, preferably a paring knife, and then you're going to cut a slit into the skin of the yuca, which is actually easier to slice than a plátano. And then you're gonna run your knife and the blade just under that skin, because it does have this waxy layer, and you really want to get that out because it's super important. Otherwise, you can actually get sick if you eat that part. So once you run the blade under the skin and under that wax layer, it actually peels off fairly easy, just like you see right here. And you just want to make sure to do this over and over again until you have completely peeled the yuca. Now, this does take some practice, but I guarantee you it's not that difficult and you can get the hang of it fairly quickly. Afterwards, we're going to make our yuca fries, and you can slice them as thick or as thin as you like. I personally like mine on the thicker side. We're then going to go ahead and remove that center fibrous vein. Now, fun fact, you can also do this after you've boiled the yuca, and it's actually become a little bit easier. I've just always done it beforehand, so for me, it's a force of habit. So here's a close-up of how I like my yuca fries. Again, I like mine a little bit on the thicker side, but you can definitely cut them a little bit on the thinner side as well. We're now going to salt the water for the yuca, because before we fry them, we're actually going to boil it. And you want to make sure to heavily salt the water, because this is going to add flavor to the yuca fries. And then afterwards, we're just going to go ahead and we're going to add our yuca into the water. Now, you want to let the yuca boil for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, me personally, I am a soft yuca girly. Like, I absolutely love soft boiled yuca. But because we're also going to be frying this later on, I actually like to fry this until they're about fork tender. Now, if I was just making a regular yuca, this would actually be a little bit too hard for me. But because we're going to be frying them, they're going to continue cooking in the oil. So after about those 25 minutes, you just want to remove the yuca onto a sheet pan with some paper towel, because we do want to pat them dry before we add them into the oil. Now, honestly, I am such a yuca fan. It's actually really hard for me not to eat them, just like you see right here with a little mojo sauce on the side. And now link that recipe down below for whoever's interested. We're now going to swap out the water for some oil, and you can use a variety of different oils. I'm using a vegetable oil today, but you can also use canola oil or even corn oil. We're going to very carefully put the yuca fries into the oil. Now, I personally like to fry the yuca fries in small batches until they take on the slightest golden brown color. And as you can see, they're also going to continue softening and cooking into the oil. So I just add them one by one, and this is why you want to be careful and make sure that you pat them dry, just so that that oil does not pop everywhere and harm you. And honestly, you can eyeball this. And another thing that you can do is that you can actually boil the yuca ahead of time and then fry them once you're ready to eat them. Now, the fun thing about making yuca fries is that they're super easy to use and they're very versatile, and they practically go with any of your dipping sauces. Like I mentioned before, I'm a mojo girl, but today I'm just gonna go ahead and dip them in good old ketchup. And until next week, I'm Chef Z y buen provecho. I don't know about you guys, but you can definitely dip this in any kind of sauce that you want. Today, I'm just gonna use good old ketchup. Now, you guys already know I'm definitely a mojo girl, but you guys are probably tired of seeing me make mojo, so ketchup it is. Hear that crispiness? That's what I'm talking about. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Now, don't go too far. Make sure to join the Chef Z family and subscribe. Come back next week when I have an all new video. And if you need some inspiration on what to cook next, go ahead and click right here.